All right, I'm here with Sean Whiteley, VP of Product Marketing at Salesforce.com. Sean, welcome to Austin, Texas.
Thank you.
So you and I met in San Francisco in your headquarters about 3 or 4 months ago. We talked about Chatter at the time, but a whole heck of a lot has happened since then. Maybe if you first just tell folks what is Chatter, and what has transpired in the last 3 months.
Sure. So a lot has happened since we last spoke. In fact, we launched Chatter on June 22nd in San Jose, California. And in fact, we've seen a huge impact on our business as a result. We had, in fact, 10,000 of our customers turn it on in the first 5 days. And what Chatter really is it's a collaboration platform. So it's a way for employees inside your company to stay in touch and understand what each other are doing. They can share files, they can create groups for project-based collaboration, they can ask questions and get answers. But the really interesting thing about Chatter, I think, which is a little bit different than some of the classic social networks that you hear about historically, is that not only do people have a feed, but also records and objects and information that reside in your various business applications have a feed as well. So you can not only follow a person to understand what they're doing, or you can provide an update to people who are following you, but you can also be updated when records change. So, let's say you're subscribed to a presentation or a piece of content. When that changes, it has a feed and it lets you know. It could be a sales deal that's moved from, an opportunity to a closed deal. You want to know about that, and you want to be notified by the application that something has happened. So, really what's happened is all this information that resides in your various business applications, they now have a feed and they push information to you. So you can kind of see this green plus mark in Salesforce now. And whenever you see a green plus mark, it means that that object or that person has a feed. And you can just follow that feed, and what you're essentially doing is subscribing to that object's feed. And now, over time, what happens is your applications are pushing information to you instead of you having to go in, search for something, pull up a record, and kind of find what you're looking for. It's actually pushed to you. So it's a really powerful new metaphor for business applications, and we're just seeing our customers already start to do some really amazing things with it.
So, and how did you all get into this idea of Chatter? Was it some customer said, you know what, Salesforce would be a lot more helpful if? Did one of your engineers come up in a jolt-fueled stupor with this great idea, or how did it come about?
Sure, absolutely. So, there was an internal project at Salesforce a couple years back called Basic Profiles and Feeds, and it was basically the idea of all of your employees having just a basic profile with your work history, and you could just do simple status updates. But our CEO, Mark Benioff, was much like when he came up with the idea of Salesforce. He said, why can't my favorite business applications be as easy to use as my favorite website? So, websites like Amazon and Google and eBay, these are consumer applications that are really easy to use, and they really provide a lot of value for the end user. And Mark said, why don't we build a business application that is easy to use and that you love as your favorite website? And that was sort of how Salesforce.com came to be. With Chatter, he was using Facebook. Facebook was his inspiration, and he said, why is it very easy for me to keep in touch with the people that I know, my family and my friends? I know what they're doing. I know when they go on trips, they post pictures, and all that information comes to me in a simple feed. So that was really the inspiration. He said, why can't collaboration applications in the enterprise be as easy to use and informative and as useful as Facebook? So that was really sort of where the idea was hatched, and we've really sort of realigned a lot of our sort of company vision and the resources in our company around it. And with our next big release coming in October, our Winter 11 release, you're going to see just a huge number of features and a lot of functionality all around sort of this collaboration platform called Chatter.
And how many of the users do you expect to be greenfield? In other words, they're not using Salesforce right now, and how many of them will be Salesforce users, either by company or by individuals? So for example, I know myself, I've started using Chatter, and I don't have a Salesforce account. Just want to get your thoughts on that.
Sure. And that's a good question. And really, a collaboration application is for everyone in your entire company. And some of the examples I used earlier were collaboration kind of tied to a CRM application. CRM is, of course, what Salesforce is known for, and we are already sort of tying Chatter very closely to CRM. But what you'll see going forward is Chatter will be tied into other applications outside of CRM. So it could be an invoice that resides in Oracle, and we have APIs that allow us to subscribe to something happening in a different application, and it comes to you. So collaboration, every employee in a company will want to have a Chatter license. They'll want to have a user of Chatter. They can work across the company, across different geographies, different departments. It's really not just for someone in sales and marketing or service and support, or someone working on a custom application that was built on Force.com, which is traditionally who our users are. Chatter is really for the entire company. Chatter is just like any other social network. The more volume you have on it, the more powerful it is. So, I think what you'll see going forward is that our customers who have a subset of employees that are using applications from Salesforce, it could be, sales and marketing, service and support, or they've done some custom app dev. What you'll see is I think they're going to be rolling this out to every user in their company. And each user in the company will have access to different things. So if you're a CRM user, you'll have access to Chatter, and you'll have access to the information that exists in the CRM system. But there'll also be users that are just using Salesforce for pure collaboration. And they won't necessarily have access to information in a CRM application, but they'll have access to the full set of features and functionality that exists within Chatter.
Excellent. Sean Whiteley, thank you so much.
Thank you.